Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Drinks and Design with Heather and Emilia. And today we are going to be talking about the Lochy Lager from Shoreline Brewing.
Shall we pour?
Let's. This is our favorite part.
It's so satisfying.
It is so satisfying. Cheers.
All right, so right off the bat, it's a nice sort of like light golden yellow.
Yes.
Smells, it's got that sort of fresh wheat smell, maybe just a hint of citrus in there.
It tastes classic.
It tastes light, malt forward, but not like that heavy malt. It's that very sort of light wheat kind of malt.
Yeah, it lingers just a little bit on the finish, but it's nothing.
It's nothing. It's not heavy.
Yeah, it doesn't hit you.
And there's just like a little bit of citrus to give it a little kick to sort of break up that maltiness a bit and make it a little fresher. Maybe also like the slightest hint of peach. It's also a little bit bubbly on the tongue, but not super fizzy. So it's very light and refreshing.
I said my mouthfeel for this one was quenching.
Yeah, this is very refreshing beer.
It's super refreshing. I spent all summer trying to find the perfect like backyard barbecue beer. Like the one when someone's like, hey, I'll go grab a case. What do you want? I could be like, oh, grab this, because I know. I spent all summer looking for that, and I think this is it. It's so good. It's the perfect backyard barbecue beer.
My vibe for it was something along the time of a good summertime beer, casual hangout, or like post-hike. So... yeah, getting together in the backyard and having a few drinks.
My notes literally say, this is a backyard barbecue, boating in the summer, beginning of a long weekend beer.
Yes.
That's the vibe of
That
this.
is totally the vibe of this one.
It's got an IBU of 25, so super low on the International Bitter Unit scale. And it has an ABV of 4.7, so your average standard beverage.
So let's start off with a little bit about Shoreline Brewing. They're located in Kelowna, BC, and they really gravitate toward the values of craft beer, good food, and that strong sense of community.
Yeah, they're actually located down on Lakeshore, right behind Gyro Beach, if you're familiar with Kelowna. So Shoreline is a very fitting name for a brewery that's located right near the shoreline. Don't know if that was intentional, but hope so.
Pretty sure it was.
Should have been if it wasn't. But yeah, so local brewery, the vibe when you walk in there is super, I'm gonna say like beachy and laid back and chill, and like you can walk off the beach and walk into the brewery and it's almost like you're right at home in that sense. But yes, it's a nice place to be, and they've got great beers, and they really kind of embody that craft walk off the beach brewery style. All right, so now we're gonna jump into talking about the branding and then the can design. So first things first, we wanted to just call out the logo and word mark actually, which is a really nice blend of line work, and the elements of the line work that surround the logo perfectly essentially depict what the word mark is. So it says Shoreline, obviously that's the brewery name, but then the line work that they have around it that brings the whole piece together, it makes it look like a shoreline. There's a little sun, little shoreline, looks like it's just popping up out of the water.
And a nice thing about the combination of the text and the line art is that the lines are the same weight, so it feels like it's all one piece, not just text and an image. It all looks like it belongs together. It's cohesive.
Yes, it's really well balanced and it works really well together as a unit.
Yeah, they also use some interesting typography. It's a sans serif with really nice rounding to the ends of the letters. So you'll notice the lines have a little bit of rounding to them. The O is very like circle shaped, and all the curves are really nice. But also just the way some of the letters are is really unique, with the first and last having extended out from either side. The E's, the middle line of the E actually bisects the upper back of the E and goes over. So it's a sans serif, but it actually has like a lot of personality and characteristics to it.
Yeah.
That make it really unique and don't make it feel so generic that some sans serifs kind of run into.
Yes, very true. And then do we want to jump into the can itself?
Yes, let's talk about the can.
So the can itself, so this one, Heather and I actually kind of picked off the shelf. We had our eye on it for a few weeks, so we finally decided to go for it. But both of us were drawn to the gradient color scheme, as well as the fact that the can kind of looks either like fish scales or waves, one or the other.
Or Ogopogo scales.
Or Ogopogo scales. The beer itself is named Lochy Lager, which...
If you know the Loch Ness Monster, so a loch is a Scottish lake, and of course the Loch Ness Monster is a quite famous lake monster, which so is the Ogopogo. That's our local cryptid. And so I like that there's this scale pattern in the greens and blues that could be a reference to our own Loch Monster.
Yes. So very well done in terms of naming as well as can design.
There's also a really neat feature that I noticed, and I didn't pick up on this right away because my first thought was scales, but I looked at it later, and this gradient of blue all the way up to white actually looks like the landscape. So you have the blue lake moving up into the green hills and the mountains in the distance. So I thought that was also like a really clever use of a design that could be viewed in two different but relevant ways.
Yeah, very true. And then in terms of how this can, along with all their other can designs, none of them are the same. Like, it's a different design, it's a different label, artwork on every single... Different colors. But the elements that are the same is they very much have this gradient feel to every single one of them. So even though the can isn't necessarily the same across the board, you can still pick it out on the shelf that it would be also from Shoreline.
Yeah, they tend to use the gradient, bold colors, and some sort of really like simple patterning going on.
Yeah.
So they still feel like they're all part of the same family while retaining their own unique characteristics. All right, so Emilia, how would you sum up the Lochy Lager in terms of taste?
This is a light-bodied beer, a little bit of malt, a little dry on the finish as well. Super easy sipper, and we would recommend sipping in the summer.
All right, and in terms of branding, they use really bold colors and make great use of a gradient, so that it could either be fish scales or the landscape. In terms of their branding overall, they use great line art and typography that really mesh well together and give it a little personality. And overall, they're very laid back, chill, beachy vibes,
Shoreline vibes,
and summer fun.
Shoreline vibes and summer fun. I love that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Do you want more great marketing,
drinking,
and design content? You can follow Hiilite on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
And then follow Drinks and Design on Instagram.
See you next time. I didn't like the wave.
You didn't like your wave?
I didn't like my wave. Okay, well, I will keep my wave. It's weirdly awkward. It's fine. It's us.
Heather, we are awkward.
I know, it's on brand.